Daniel is a young boy who's frustrated. He can't play video games with any of his friends because he's on Xbox and they're on PlayStation and Nintendo. But Daniel isn't the type guy to be complacent during times of struggle, especially when the solution is obvious, painfully obvious. He read a paper about cross-platform play between every console, filled to the brim with excuses on why it's not feasible. But Daniel isn't convinced.
Corporate greed.
So he sits down, opens Fortnite, and grabs some snacks. But he notices something off about the people in his lobby. Many strange gamer tags, using weird characters, hyphens, underscores, and periods. Confusion is an understatement as he notices. These characters are not allowed in Xbox usernames. So he goes on Reddit to ask some questions.
I saw these strange characters in my lobby. Is it what I think it is?
Oh wow, I think so. I'm on PlayStation. We use those letters in our usernames. They said this wasn't possible. How could this be? The Reddit post spreads all over social media with outrage from all over the world, leading to many questions.
How? No way.
Is this real?
We have a long-standing policy of not enabling cross-platform play. Our focus is on maintaining the security and integrity of the PlayStation network and providing the best possible experience for our players. It's not safe or secure for anyone involved. That, Daniel, is why we can't enable cross-platform play. Sorry, I have to say no. I would have loved to see them leave it on personally. Seems like a great idea. For the first time, someone in the corporate world had agreed with him. Xbox, the opinion in favor for the people. But Daniel wasn't supposed to see this crack in the system so publicly. What he discovered was something the industry gatekept for years, dismantling decades of corporate propaganda swearing it wasn't possible, and in turn, sending an honor to the many years of console wars before him, uniting all gamers around the world, making everyone realize this wasn't our war to fight. Many console generations before Daniel's time had specific goals they were fighting for. The SNES and the Genesis, exclusive games, PS1 versus the N64, the battle for 3D gaming and saying goodbye to the original cartridges, the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, the first multimedia consoles, the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U, the first of its time to introduce online play. But what we didn't know at the time was this generation taught us something. The next set of players would become less about which console is doing it best, to what console does everyone else have. Young Daniel couldn't actually tell you the difference between the consoles. Show him a graphics comparison and he would be bedazzled, not able to tell which was which. But the second you uttered the forbidden console's name around him, tears would drip down his cheeks. Corporate jargon had fried his little brain. All of the console wars before now seemed to have a clear goal, fan bases, competition between one another, a thing of the past now. So long before Daniel couldn't play with his friends, many before him were also forced to make the same choice. But for many at the time, that wasn't a problem. Daniel is growing up and in high school now, meaning many of his friends have jobs, giving them a little money to spend on themselves.
Bro, I just got this goated new gadget to play games on.
Everyone is talking about this other type of console. You could play online for free, never needed to upgrade every few years. Graphics were better, controls were easier, and the final cherry on top, every Xbox exclusive could also be played on it. It always seemed like it had everything. No need to buy a PlayStation just to play with his friend. Game Pass allowed all games to be played on it. So Daniel followed his friends and made the switch. But Daniel's new gaming PC wasn't quite perfect. Daniel had to take trips to see his father halfway across the country every weekend. Many long and grueling car journeys back and forth. He can't take his heavy gaming computer every weekend, can he? So Daniel had an idea. Daniel needed something that he could carry around easily. Something light, but also didn't use unresponsive touchscreen controls. So he purchased a Nintendo Switch, making gaming no longer feel confined to one room, shifting the whole console wars to a completely different lane.
A lane where they're solo, no competition. A place where hardware doesn't define success. A timeline where they can release consoles at their own pace, quietly cementing Nintendo's departure from the console wars. Daniel is 16 at this point. A lot of his friends are fully independent, their own jobs and finances. But no, not all of them. Not all of them can afford to spend over $1,000 on a new gaming PC, so his other friends were still in the traditional lane of owning consoles. But what's quietly happening behind doors is Sony allowing crossplay on a multitude of recent games between PC and PlayStation. The Last of Us and God of War previously didn't allow it, but today that's not the case. Meaning for the first time, Daniel had no reason to own a PlayStation since he already had a PC. Sony stayed traditional, yes, but in doing so, they acted as a bridge for those who needed it the most. The friends without the means to upgrade to a PC. Microsoft shifted their focus to cloud gaming. Nintendo switched their focus to handheld gaming. And Sony stayed traditional as the bridge between casual and hardcore gamers. Long gone are the days of bloody wars and marketing tactics to try one-up each other. The concept of brand loyalty that has existed since the dawn of gaming is no longer one that exists. Today, everyone is more connected than ever. Some AAA titles allow crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation. But all in all, another console war like what we had in the early 2000s is unlikely to happen again today.